As part of the SANFL's commitment to spread the football word throughout the state, today ABC Sport ventures 300 kilometres north of Adelaide to Port Augusta. Founded in 1852, the city is known as the crossroads of Australia and the gateway to the outback. Situated at the top of Spencer Gulf, Port Augusta boasts two major industries: the massive $500 million coal-fired Northern Power Station and the Australian National Railways, which provides a link to the rest of Australia. Port Augusta is the last major stop-off before entering the Flinders Ranges and the outback. The city's most significant tourist attraction is the multi-award-winning Wadlata Outback Centre, a spectacular hands-on, entertaining and educational display of the region. Port Augusta is part of the Spencer Gulf Football League and provides 4 of the 8 teams. It also produced some of the state's best players, including West Torrens champion Kevin McSporran and Glenelg star ruckman Harry Kernahan. Both players began their careers at the Central Oval, the venue for today's Foundation Cup clash between Port Adelaide and Central District. Hello everyone, welcome to ABC Sports exclusive coverage of the Foundation Cup for 1993. Round 1 continues today from the Central Oval at Port Augusta. And Stephen Trigg, looking forward to a big game.
Looking forward to a terrific game. Reigning Premier Port Adelaide. They'll be hard to beat. Most people would expect that they'd win at this outing up here at Central Oval at Port Augusta. But I suspect that Alan Stewart's side, steadily improving over the past 2 years, will do well and they'll be more competitive than most would think.
And what about that performance against Collingwood by Port Adelaide a couple of weeks ago?
A terrific performance by Port Adelaide, blooding some youngsters and played it very well, and they'll be much better for the external outing, if you like. Central District preferring to play their internal trials as distinct from playing other clubs.
Who do you like?
I like Port Adelaide, but not by much.
And I like Port Adelaide to win here at Port Augusta. Start of the second quarter here at the Central Oval, and it's Port Adelaide 4 goals, 4-28. They lead Central District 3 behinds. The Magpies kicking to the right of screen. They dominated that first quarter. Majaskalo, little North Adelaide, ex-North Adelaide Rover, kicks up to right half forward. Central District with a bit of a chance here. Handley had the ball knocked away from him, almost inside 50. They've got a big chance here, Central District. John Abbott, a clever hand pass, quickly across to James Saywell. Nice kick to Tongri, and they're into attack. And we didn't see too much of that in the first quarter.
No, much more precision in terms of their delivery. Saywell on the left leg, nice chip kick, found Tongri in front of his opponent. Now Tongri from a very, very difficult angle. He'll have the assistance of a slight breeze coming over his right shoulder. There's no space for leads in that area. And now Tongri.
From Salisbury North, good kick by young Tongri. That's a terrific kick. Gee whiz, that was a brilliant kick from that angle, and as Stephen said, it was a very tricky one. It's 4-4 to 1-3. They needed that.
They certainly needed it, and Tongri did very well. We see again on the replay where Saywell gets it to Tongri, but Tongri used his brain there, set it up, used a little bit of breeze that was there. It just drifted from his right to left and snuck it in for a goal. Much needed one to Central District.
So we've played just over 1 minute of the second quarter, 28-9. And the Magpies look very impressive in that first quarter, and they're going forward again. This is Ginniver, long kick straight down the middle, looking for Tyler or Smith down there. Lynn, oh, that hand pass wasn't too good at all. Wakeland has a shot at goal, and he misses to the left-hand side, but that could have been so much worse for Central District. That was just poor defence in the end.
Would have been nothing worse for Central District, having scored their first goal, to have Port Adelaide exit from the centre and score so very quickly. And Wakeland really should have kicked that goal, not under any pressure. He's had a couple of shots now for 1 goal, and the kick in from Remus.
Yes, he's done a couple of good things, hasn't he? Since there's Central District in defence at the moment, Tony Lynn goes across the far side out there. There's a good mark taken by Foster, so he's going to boom this into attack again. The defender, good kick, lovely kick, and Troy Bond on the end of it, the little rover. 19 years of age, and he's been drafted by Carlton. Very pacey young rover from Salisbury North, Troy Bond. 45 metres out on a slight angle, drifting across the face of goal, and it's through for a behind. So Port Adelaide moved to 5 goals, 6. Central are 1-3.
Pity for Port Adelaide they couldn't finish that off. I can't tell you what good work it was from Foster. Tongri's given him a little bit of the runaround so far, but Foster was terrific there in his attack on the ball. Now the kick in. Harada, Smith springs it free to Gaffney. Gaffney with a little bit of time on the left leg, looks for and he finds again Wakeland. He's been everywhere on that forward line, And Darryl Wakeman, with one Foundation Cup game last year, has started 1993 very well. He'll have a shot from around about 45 metres out, fairly tight angle, and this time the breeze won't help him, be coming from his left to right and pushing the ball away from the goal. He'll have to set it up at the left post. Away he goes. The kick looks pretty good. Well, there you go. We've had two kicks in the last couple of moments from inside very tight angles, and that's Wakeland's second goal. First Tongery from the tight angle, and then Wakeland. And we spoke a moment ago about the fact that he missed an opportunity. Certainly made amends for it here. This was a beautiful kick, very deliberate, head over the ball, did take a bit of that left post, and it drifted back in beautifully. His second goal, and Port Adelaide reply very quickly.
Darryl Wakeland played very well against Collingwood in that match a couple of weeks ago. He's played just the one Foundation Cup match, as Stephen mentioned. 5-6 to 1-3, 36 to 9. Back in the centre. Oh, nice tap there. Only as far as Schwert, though. He got it from James Saywell. Schwert with a good kick towards centre half forward. Smith using his big body. Clever mark against Coffey. Jeez, he's a big man, isn't he?
And you'll see here the strong mark by Phillips. And you'll get 25 metres. Grant Coffey was given one burst of the whistle, didn't come back quickly enough, and the 25-metre penalty is the result.
Long kick there by Cockatoo Collins up toward left half forward. It's inside 50. That's Setri, who's besieged, and there'll be a ball up about 45 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. It's 5-6 to 1-3. So what have we got? 11 scoring shots to 4. And Port Adelaide looking dangerous again. There's Ginniver trying desperately to get that football out. McGowan is 23. Number 12 for Port Adelaide is Michael Gaffney. Tim Ginniver gets up, hands the ball across. Another throw up this time by the umpire. McGowan out wide. Hand pass a bit awkward. Central District mounted charge up to right half forward. And they've got some hope here. Majaskalo. Got to boom it in quite long. In the end, he goes reasonably short. Tongery is a very skillful player. Got himself into a bit of trouble there, though. Port Adelaide defence cleaning up. Northeast, short one. Cockatoo Collins. So Port Adelaide mounted charge from their half back line. Cockatoo Collins, an awkward kick up to left half forward. Smith was the man he was after. Fiachi, who's drifted down from his back pocket. Hand pass was a little astray in the end, and Central District now through Coffey. Hand pass infield. Majaskalo had a couple of valuable touches. Now Tongery once again very dangerous on that forward line, and he fires on that goal, and he has got it.
It's well done by Shane Tongery. Out of side just a moment ago, and you can hear the Port Adelaide fans up here. Of course, this Port Augusta area zoned to Port Adelaide. Not a whole lot of cheers when Tongery put through his second goal on that occasion. When he was pulled off the ball on the outer side there, no reward for the kick, but this time he makes amends for it, puts through his second goal. Well done, Shane Tongery, and Centrals have got their second.
Six and a half minutes, second quarter of this Foundation Cup clash, coming to you on ABC television, exclusively right around the state. Stevens, defensive side of centre. High kick up towards centre half forward now. Central District just looking a little better at the moment. Saywell had it, then lost it. Girdham, they've got him. Phillips has got his arms around him. Hicks out wide. McGowan. Can they mount something? Here's Tongery again. No, he just didn't get a chance there. Stevens shrugs the tackle. Drop punt toward left half forward. Good kick to Coffey. Good vision by Stevens. Now Coffey gets on with it pretty quickly. Long one. McRae is the target down there. Mead with him. Oh, it's hit the post. A behind to Central District. They go to 2-4 and Port 5-6. They're just starting to look a bit better.
They are. It's a very entertaining game at the moment. It's a free-flowing game. Both sides prepared to share the ball. And unfortunately for Central District, Coffey offline. Just starting to get away from Greg Phillips at the moment is Coffey. The kick in now, and there's that man Phillips that we're speaking of. Pack of players develop. And we'll have a bounce down just on the 50-metre line for Port Adelaide. They're kicking to the eastern end of this ground. In fact, the umpire's going to throw the ball up. Pack of players developing. Phillips looks to run. McGowan to Handley. Handley forward. Good contest, and Mead a good spoil. Majaskalo now twists and turns. Comes inside the Macri. Macri's under some pressure. Good defence again from Port Adelaide. Handball now from Fiachi. looking for and finding Hull. And Hull with some time. Contest on the outer side. Players throwing themselves into the ball, and it's now with Norton. His handball's not to the body, but Stevens is good enough to control it. To Abbott. Abbott should have some time. Lifts the eyes and goes onto the left leg and finds Tongley deep on the boundary line, outer side.
He's had a lot of touches, hasn't he, Tongley? I'd love to see his stat sheet. And the free kick, for some reason or other, is going to Cockatoo Collins. It was out on the full. So in the end, Port Adelaide will clear. Cockatoo Collins getting good distance. That was Hull, number 20, getting the hand pass away. Down there is Smith. Stevens, who's had 2 or 3 touches in this quarter from the centre. Good drop punt, lovely kick, but it doesn't find its mark, and Rosonico is on the end of it. One of the key defenders for Port Adelaide. Goes in short. Phillips, the key defender. And this big lump of a man storms away from half-back, up to Smith. On hands and knees is Ginniver. Over the top goes Gaffney. Opportunity now for Smith. Infield he goes. Big chance here for them. This is Gaffney. Long kick. Is it online? It is. Gaffney. Beautiful kick. Number 12, and he gets his first.
Super kick by Gaffney. Set the ball up. Did it all very well. It was a good build-up by Port Adelaide. Started with Phillips and Rosonico out of that defensive zone. Ended up with Smith. His handball was good over the top. And Gaffney this time with the presence of mind just to set it up. Let that little bit of breeze that we've spoken about do the rest of the work. And Port Adelaide go further ahead. Michael Gaffney, 1 goal for the game so far. Looks a good player.
36 points the margin, 42-16. Almost 10 minutes of the second quarter. Smith, that was very quick. Troy Hull wobbles one up there. Here's Bond. Well, he got caught that time. Just tried to do a little bit too much. Hull. Now Smith out very wide. So Port Adelaide mounting yet another charge. Big chance for Darryl Wakeland, number 22. He had 3 to beat then. Still with Port Adelaide. Cockatoo Collins over the top. Setri has a shot at goal, and he shredded it through. No, he's missed to the left-hand side. 6-7 to 2-4, 43-16. 10.5 minutes. Second quarter in this big first round Foundation Cup clash at the Central Oval at Port Augusta.
It was a wonderful little take in that little exercise there by Troy Bond. Couldn't finish it off in the end, but it was a lovely piece of work at half forward. Now with Chalmers. Springs it out quickly and taken too high as Hull. And Troy Hull, who's played very well for Port Adelaide, takes the kick from right half forward for Port. Puts it in towards Borlase. Borlase takes the mark to Ginniver. Ginniver around his opponent. In fact, he's not around. It was well done by Handley. Pack of players now. Neither side can take clear possession. Out the back towards Setri. Setri to Smith. Smith will kick this one. And through it goes for Port Adelaide. Rowan Smith's first goal. And Port Adelaide on the run. They're doing everything right at the moment. They're peppering the goals. And this time Rowan Smith sets up his first. Running past and providing the option. Good contest by Ginniver. Borlase in there as well. Quick kick by Borlase. Setri quickly out. Smith. And through the middle for a goal. Well played, Port Adelaide.
Doesn't miss too many of those from there, does he, Smith? First goal for him today. And Rowan Smith, who's kicked 200 goals. That's his 200th league goal, so that's a terrific effort. He's fitter than ever this year, they tell us. Port Adelaide officials very happy with the way Smith has been training. Foster. Oh, there's Troy Bond rushing through. Half-back. Girdham taking an age and a half to pick that up. In the end, they've got him. He loses possession. Handley. It's not Handley, it's John Abbott. And he's the last one. Yes, it was Handley in the end to get up.
Jerome Coffey's gone into the ruck for Central District. Coach Alan Stewart's made a change. Scott Norton, the centre-half forward. Coffey onto the ball. Now with Handley. Handley's quick kick on the unfamiliar right leg forward. Leading in the race for the ball is Damien Hicks. He's up against 2 Port Adelaide opponents, though, and does it pretty well. Now Fiacci will switch sides. He's got 2 players to choose from, Cockatoo Collins or Phillips, and Cockatoo Collins the man. Around he goes towards half-back, and there are players everywhere for Port Adelaide. Central a little disorganised at the moment. Borlase now to Hull, and Hull's got time. He's playing very well at the moment. The left leg's not good. Well, I was going to say it's not good, but it nearly found Tyler in the end. Tyler backs it up well to Gaffney. Gaffney now, kick smothered by Reimers. Well done, Hugh Reimers. Presence of mind to sit, wait, then dispatch the handball, but he's put Lynn under some pressure. Lynn was held when not in possession of the ball. Pack of players developed. We'll have a bounce down right half forward for Port Adelaide.
7-7 to 2 goals for. David Elliott and Darren Trenery, the two umpires officiating here today. Perfect conditions at Port Augusta. This is the Central Oval. And they've really turned it on for us here today. Good crowd too, Gurdon. They love their football up at Port Augusta, no doubt about that. Abbott, number 7 for Central District. Very rough and tough ruck rover type player. Kicks into the left forward pocket. Still in play. Now the umpire comes across and says that was out. I'll throw it in.
We just saw Roger Gurdon take a possession for Central District when Greg Smith retired 3/4 of the way through season 1992. Roger Gurdon took over, and I can tell you he's a very hard worker, Roger Gurdon, and Central need him now to really get on top in the centre of the ground.
Shane Wakeland getting ready to come on. We just saw that moments ago. Here's Foster. Very cool in a crisis, Foster. Mead. Generally Delaney is back there, but Mead taking his place today at fullback. Setri, and he's out of bounds. Yes, as I was saying, Shane Wakeland getting ready to come on, because Darryl Wakeland's his twin brother. The only difference, as far as I can see, is that one wears 23 and one wears 22. Heavens knows what you do when they're both running at you and you can't see their numbers. And joining me in commentary, Stephen Trigg.
Boundary thrown out of side. Phillips the tap. Tongery inside the Stevens. Had a terrific quarter, Stevens. Onto the left leg he goes. And that is a beautiful kick, Scott Stevens. The crowd not getting too excited about it. As we said before, a Pride Port crowd, but Stevens has put through his first goal. In fact, he's nailed it. The ball's gone way out onto the dog track. And we see again in replay, Tongery's quick reflex handball inside the Stevens. Settled himself down. The chase was on, but his kick was a good one. He scored his first goal. And Central District just steadying. And we've got a contest on our hands now, halfway through the second quarter.
They found the football, no doubt about that. 7-7 to 3-4. 49 to 22. 27 points the margin. Up on the half-forward line, Hereda. Now Stevens, centre-half forward, straight down the throat of Phillips. Northeast, drop punt to right half-forward. Almost the mark, or a free kick, take your pick. It's a free kick over the shoulder. And he might get 25 metres for that. I think he will. Michael Gaffney.
Yes, Gaffney the mark. Well, whether it was a mark or not, James Saywell will learn a bit out of that. Threw the ball back in disgust. Interchange is being made. In fact, the double interchange. Phillips off, Wakeman on.
Yes, and Shane Grimm came off. Shane Grimm came on as well.
And for Central District, Norton is off. And coming onto the ground for Central is Michael Wakeman. So we have 3 Wakemans on the ground at the moment. Ex-Port Adelaide player is Michael. But the ball, of course, is back with Borlase. Having a shot for goal. Having received the pass. 30 metres out. Away goes Borlase. And he's scored a goal. That's Borlase's first goal. And Port Adelaide now steady. Each time Central District score, Port Adelaide can do no wrong in their reply. And we see here Borlase, very deliberate. Been around for a long time, has Darryl Borlase in his 8th season. He's kicked 194. In fact, he's now kicked 195 goals in his career. And he's been a focal point up forward and on the ball for Port Adelaide.
So Grimm and Coffey to do the ruck work for their respective sides. Shane Grimm is on the ground, 8-7 to 3-4. 55 to 22. And Port Adelaide leading at the moment. Michael Majaskalo with the football, and they've got him as well. So there'll be a ball up on the defensive side of centre for Central District. That margin is 33 points in favour of the Magpies. There's Bond, got caught with it. Gradually worked the ball forward, up to left half forward. Here's a big chance now. Terrific mark back there, though, taken by Mead. Gee, that was a good one-hander.
It was a good hander. Hanley was the player that got it forward. But the goal umpires deemed that the juggle took it over the line. There you'll see it. As he took it over the line, wasn't actually in possession of the ball. And the goal umpire ruled that a boundary throw-in should be made right next to the behind post for Port Adelaide. Away they go now. In fact, it was for Central District. Hanley can't get a free possession. Neither can Wakeman. But the umpires pulled a free kick out, and Michael Wakeman, who's just come onto the ground for Central District, will take his first kick from around about 12 metres out. Fairly acute angle. Michael Wakeland, ex-Port Adelaide player. Played 2 games for Central District last season.
And brother of Darryl and Shane, the twins.
Michael Wakeland now lines up, laid back on it a little bit, but nonetheless he's put it through. Central District needed that goal. He'll be pleased with himself. With a point to prove, Michael Wakeland puts that ball straight through the centre of the goals as he jogs back towards that half-forward position that he's playing at the moment. And we've got a contest on our hands.
We're coming to you on ABC television right around the state from the Central Oval at Port Augusta. We'll be bringing you all of the Foundation Cup action this year and, of course, the home and away matches as well. Looking forward to a terrific season of football here in South Australia. Free kick going to Coffey. Centre half forward come Ruckman. That was a bit casual by Coffey in the end. Bond up to left half forward. Down there is Wakeland out of bounds between the wing and left half forward, and things just starting to get a little bit hot out there. The crowd are going berserk in front of us, barking the hoots and making quite a lot of noise. It's just a bit of pushing and shoving. It is loud up here, I can tell you. Good crowd here, very vocal indeed. There are people all around us, you wouldn't believe it. About 20 children. We're buried right in amongst them. Throw in at left half forward. How are you enjoying it, Stephen?
Loving it at the moment. The crowd certainly love that little piece of play as well. On the board, we've got 16 and a half minutes of play into this, the third quarter. Now Norton has been positive. His competition's been good. And there's a pack of players, and the boundary, the field umpire will toss it up again. Just looking into the sun, and you'll see that Shane Grimm has just come onto the ground. I'll pick up for you in a moment who he has replaced. Has replaced Brett Chalmers. Big pack of players, and Bond with the presence to get it around the corner, but only as far as Tony Lynn, and Tony Lynn's defended well for Central District. Third in the best and fairest last year at Elizabeth. His kick only as far as Darryl Borlase, and his was a strong mark. Shane Tongery gives it over. Now the Port Adelaide forward zone is clear to Geneva. Geneva can't get there, and Reimers gets there first, but the Geneva tackle is terrific. Cleared towards Bond. Now Bond will have time. Port Adelaide will shepherd. He sets sail for goal, and that is an absolutely fantastic kick from Troy Bond. He kicks his second. We mentioned that he had time. He used all of that for a young man, and great presence. Set sail for goal, and a terrific kick after a very good game so far from Troy Bond. In he comes, picks up. You'll see that he's got time. Sets it up towards the right post. Lets the ball drift back. And that was well played by Troy Bond, and well done, Port Adelaide.
Well, they're dominating, aren't they? 2 goals to Bond, one in the first and one in the third. It's 13-7 to 4 goals, 6, 85 to 30. 55 points the margin. Norton winning that one was Grimm. Up on the half back line now for Port Adelaide. Fiarchi to centre half forward for Port Adelaide. Opportunity now for the Central District defenders to get back and just try and do something useful there. There's the centreman for Central District, Rick McGowan, number 23. Ball up at left half forward for Port Adelaide. Norton, Geneva. Now Borlase pulled off the footy. That was good football.
The impressive thing about this game at the moment is that both players, or players from both sides, are really throwing themselves in the contest. Now Tongery's elusive, too elusive for himself on that occasion as he lost the ball. Borlase to Gaffney. Gaffney's torpedo punt down the ground, and it looks like he's been put down. And the umpire's indicating an FAD, a free after disposal. And Mark Tyler's going to get a cheap kick up forward. Not so cheap perhaps for Gaffney, but a good one for Tyler. And Tyler will take a kick 15 metres out in a 45-degree angle. He'll be shooting for his third. Now Tyler settles down to it, keeps the head down, kicks through the ball, and he scored himself his third goal. Well done, Mark Tyler, and well done by Gaffney. Port Adelaide go further ahead now, and we said that they look ominous. Well, they look very powerful through the midfield, and they've got some power up forward as well. On this occasion, it was not altogether difficult for Tyler, but watch his kicking technique. Kicks right through the ball, Lovely kicking style, and Port Adelaide now go further ahead. Central District with some work to do ahead of them, and Shane Tongue coming off the ground. Robert Hanley coming back on to replace him.
4 interchange players, of course, during the Foundation Cup. The quarters are 20 minutes apiece plus time on, so we're just into time on now. 14-7 to 4-6. The Magpies with this big lead, and they go into attack once again. But back there is Handley, who's just come onto the ground. I notice he's got his left hand strapped. Might be his left wrist. Kicks to Norton. Oh, good mark. He really stretched there, the big man, and he is a big and powerful man. We had a good look at him in the change rooms before he came, before Central District came on, and he is an extremely large frame gentleman. Out very wide, McGowan's hand pass. Majaskalo, 55 metres out and closing. Long kick, offline, hits the point post. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, he wanted to straighten up, but he was never allowed to by his Port Adelaide opponent. And in the end, he kicked across the body, and you saw the result, out of bounds on the full. Now the ball's back with Girdham. Girdham's work while he's caught this time. I was going to say his work rate has been very good. I'll get my lips around it shortly. His work rate has been terrific, but Kemp caught him on that occasion. Watch this for a tackle, pinned the arms, and left Roger Girdham with no chance of getting rid of the ball.
Just too slow, wasn't he?
He's a tough little customer, Paul Kemp, and his kick's a good one towards centre wing. The spoiler's on from Saywell. And now Central's through a series of handballs, clear it. It's good work, the zigzagging handball. And they'll kick forward now through the agency of Reamers. Good attack on the ball and a good spoil. Scott Stevens leads in the race for the ball. He's under some pressure from Cockatoo Collins. The Stevens handball is astray. Now Fiarchi under some pressure from Stevens. And look at that for some dash from defence. Looks like Foster this time on the left leg. Harada under the ball. Can't take it. McKay's got time. His handball, look at Smith. Look how free Rowan Smith is. If he can get it over the top, he can. Tyler's going to have some time here. He just has to one take it. In fact, he goes off the ground, and Mark Tyler's got his fourth goal. Fourth goal to Mark Tyler, and a terrific build-up from Port Adelaide. Started through the half-back line, through the dash of Foster. You'll see here, the attack on the ball was great from half-back. McKay ended up with the ball. His handball to Smith, and I can't understand. I looked for his opponent. Nowhere to be found, and Smith bundled it forward. Finally, it was pushed forward to Tyler, and he kicked an easy goal in the end for his fourth, and a very valuable one for Port Adelaide, and they go further ahead.
Margin 67 points. Norton and Grimm. Sentry from about 65 metres. Long bomb. Looking down there for Tylor, and it's gone through for a behind to the left-hand side. Another promising sortie by Port Adelaide. Getting it out of the centre and going long. 15-8 to 4-6. 23 minutes, a long third quarter.
It's a good description of sortie. I'd suggest it was more like a raid. That ball exited the centre square at 1,000 miles an hour, and the Central District defence is under some siege. Now it's with Lynn. He's been a good player. Third in the best and fairest last year. And Hanley, look at that for a mark. Gee, there's strong hands from Hanley, and he can kick goals as well, I can tell you, inside the half-forward line. But this time he's out towards Coffey. The Coffey kicks a good one. Mead's been good, and that's no exception. He's taken a very strong mark. Unbeaten today, Darren Mead. And out wide to Geneva.
Yes, he's had two opponents.
Port Adelaide set up now, and the Mead run is very good. He'll now turn and charge back towards his full forward, but his kick to space only as far as Green. Looked like Green got one in the eye there. Back to Schwartz. Central District look a little jaded at the moment. Why wouldn't they? That defence has been under some real pressure. Now Lynn again. And Lynn has some time. He's settled proceedings down. Very few options. But he does find one. In fact, he goes over the head of a teammate. And finally, Majaskalo. He has some time, has a look. But the kick, gee, is not a good one. And it falls straight into the arms of the Port Adelaide opponent. Finally now with Fiarchi. His handball astray. Here's a contest. Neither player took their eye off the ball. Well done, both players. And Cockatoo Collins. The kick's not a good one. Schwartz underneath it. The tap out to Tylor, McKay, and Central defend.
Schwartz goes across the face of goal. He's got Lynn over there by himself in the back pocket. Over the top he goes. Saywell. Bond came at him. Saywell's kick up to Abbott territory. He's on that far side of the ground. All the cars are parked out there. Well, that tackle looked a bit high. No, it was in the back, so the free kick will go to Abbott. He's just taking a while to get up there, as you can see. John Abbott, rough and tough ruck rover from Williston at Gawler. To just have a look what he did here. Majasculo, the hand pass, I don't know whether it was perhaps the best option. And he has hurt himself. And he's got himself 25 or 50, Stephen.
He's got himself 50 metres. Umpire ruled that couldn't pick it up. I think it may have been Northeast who took off and disposed of the ball well after the whistle.
Yes, he did.
The umpire deemed it to be a 50-metre penalty.
So this is Abbott, and as we said, he did seem to have a problem with his arm, or shoulder perhaps. Long left foot kick. That's a good kick. It got good distance. Coffey was behind. Fiachi caught with a football by McGowan, and there'll be a ball up directly in front of the central goal.
Gee, I've enjoyed watching the Port defence today. They've been absolutely fantastic, very strong. Little kick over the head, the Pele style. It's not to no avail this time as a free kick's been picked out and will go to Port Adelaide deep in their defensive zone. I was saying about the Port Adelaide defence, it's been absolutely fantastic today. Much run, much attack from their defensive zone. And that's three-quarter time, and at three-quarter time it's Port Adelaide 15 goals 8, 98. Central District 4 goals 6, 30, not adding a goal to their score, and it's Port Adelaide doing it easily at three-quarter time from Central Oval in Port Augusta.
Start of the last quarter here in this big game at the Central Oval, Port Augusta, between Port Adelaide and Central District. Port Adelaide are dominating, 15 goals 8, 98. Central District 4 goals 6, 30. And it was a big third quarter by Port Adelaide. They really did turn it on in front of this big crowd here at the Central Oval. Up on the half-forward line now, free kick. And the Magpies already into attack. Number 3 is Troy Bond, already kicked 2 goals, the 19-year-old. And he's about 45 metres out, pretty well directly in front as the shadows start to converge over the oval. Here's Troy Bond, drop punt, looks pretty good from where we sit. The umpire has a good look at it going over his head. And Troy Bond gets his third. Port Adelaide are 16-8, Central District languishing 4-6.
We saw Darryl Wakeland get that ball forward. Wakeland gone to centre-half forward. John Cale obviously trying one or two different things. Because he has Darryl Wakeland at centre-half forward. He has his brother Shane Wakeland at centre-half back. It looks at the moment as though Greg Phillips has gone for a spell. And Troy Bond finished off some good work there. Port Adelaide going further ahead now, 16-8 to 4 goals 6.
The margin 74 points. Shane Grimm up against Hugh Remus. And Hugh Remus had the job in the first half at fullback. David Elliott and Darren Trenery have made the trip up from Adelaide to Port Augusta. Central Oval looking magnificent too. I know the council have spent a lot of money on it. Back there is Tony Lynn, I should say, defending out wide. Cockatoo Collins, who did some good things. Stevens with him, harassing him. Cockatoo Collins just forcing the ball over the line, left half forward.
Port Adelaide into attack again. Just a slight breeze into their face at the moment as they kick to the right of your screen. Boundary throw in, big pack of players. Tapped by Central District. In there working hard at Port Adelaide. Looked like a throw. The umpire's given a free kick to Central District. And the free kick will be taken by Grant. No, in fact, it's Stephen Schwert. Been a good defender and now hands the ball over to Gurdon. Well, the umpire's confused us up here as well, but Gurdon will take the kick from half-back. Gurdon's kick's a good one. A good, strong drop punt. Right down to the wing position. Pack of players fly and McKay takes the ball. A little bit scrappy in the first part of this, the last quarter. And Ginniver comes free. Gee, isn't that strong from Ginniver. Wheels around. He's got time to bounce. Looking into the sun. Sets up. Looking for Tylor. Tylor's under siege from 2 players, though. Central District mop it up in defence. And the ball comes out to Lynn. Setri tackles. Lynn under some pressure. And Gurdon again. Very good to Schwert. And Schwert with time. Looks for Stevens. And Stevens through the middle part of this game has been a very good worker in the midfield for Central. He's tried to get things going for them. And his kick travels the distance of the square. 55 metres. A good kick. And the ball's spoiled. Port Adelaide now get it forward. Gaffney. Saywell. Gaffney takes possession. He's been a good player. And his kick hugs the line. Getting underneath it, but the spoil is good by Harada in front of Stevens. And we'll have a boundary throw in right half forward flank for Port Adelaide. And we're 5 minutes, in fact 4 minutes into the first quarter.
Yes, you say Gaffney's had a good game. Kicked 1 goal in the second quarter, 1 in the third. 3.5 minutes last quarter. As the shadows start to come across the central oval here at Port Augusta. Central District have been whipped here. They did beat Port Adelaide last year in the home and away by a behind. This is nothing like that side, though. Over the top goes Ellis. Can they set something up here? McGowan from the centre, kicks to right half forward. Port Adelaide defence has been rock solid today. Rosonico out wide. Cockatoo Collins, now Foster. Hand pass out wide, he was looking for Ginniver. Gurdon, there was a bit of hanging on there, I get the feeling, yes. And it's going Central District's way. Green kicks to right half forward. Is the acting captain? Here's Handley. Drop punt. Inside 50. Good kick by Handley. And he's kicked the goal. You won't hear many cheers because most of the people here are Port Adelaide supporters. So at last, Central District get a goal. They're 5-6-36. Port Adelaide, 16 goals, 8. And it's been all the Magpies, except for perhaps, Stephen, what about the first or the second half of the second quarter, I guess?
Yeah, Central's made a fist of it during that second quarter. They'll feel like it's a pretty lonely place out there at the moment. They score a goal and they get the boost from this Port Augusta crowd. But Robert Handley really knows where the goals is. He's a good goal scorer and he's back on that familiar position of his at half forward.
2 goals to Shane Tongrey, 1 to Handley, 1 to Stevens, and 1 to Wakeland. So just the 4 goal scorers for Central District with their 5 goals 6. Stevens is caught by Kemp. Stolen by Wakeland. Long kick to left half forward. Good mark taken by Tylor. Already has 4. Good strong mark. And Tylor taking plenty of time. We've got 1 in the first and 3 in the third. 4 goals straight. Good day out at the office. 40 metres out. Lays back on it again. Drop punt. The umpire has a good look at it again. And he's missed this time to the left. Only just. So he blots the copybook. 4 goals, 1 to Tylor. And Port Adelaide surge further in front.
It's Port Adelaide doing it well. And Tylor kicked 6 against Collingwood in the night game Wednesday week ago. He started well, Mark Tylor. Disappointed having missed the grand final last year. And now the kick out to Tongrey, who's just come onto the ground. Inside he goes. Looking for and finding on that occasion McKinnon. Now Schwert. Schwert with time. The pace just gone off of this game at the moment. And look at that for a mark, if you don't mind. We just say the pace has gone off of it. And Rosonico sets it alight. A terrific mark up over the top. Watch it there, the knee up. The one grab, a terrific mark. And now he's kicked the centre wing. Now Schwert. And Abbott. Abbott hasn't been Central District's worst player either. And a good mark taken by Grant Coffey, who's played a patchy game. Started quietly at centre half forward. Moved into the ruck. Did some very useful things through the mid part of the game, and now he's been moved back onto the forward line. Coffey at 26 years of age and 108 games, plenty of experience. Didn't like the drop of that ball, but have a look at it. Straight through the middle for Grant Coffey's first goal. He hangs his head disappointedly because he knows that he didn't connect with it properly, but nonetheless the result is on the board for Central District, and a much needed goal, needless to say, at this stage of the game. Watch it on replay. Through the hands of Mead, who really hasn't done too much wrong tonight. It's one of the few times, in fact I think it may be, the first goal that's been kicked on him for the night. And that was done by Grant Coffey.
So Remus and Kemp, Shane Grimm I should say, up to centre half forward. Back there is Fiarchi. Quickly across to his teammate Wakeland. Into the forward pocket. Tylor. Borlays. Got a hand to it. Now Hull. Schwert. It's the hand pass away. Saywell. Away from the danger zone. But for how long? Northeast. Had 2-3 bites at it and eventually took it. Shrugs the tackle. Goes long. Right half forward, but just getting back there is Lynn doing some good defensive work. Going to change direction. Can they create the loose man? Good kick to Stevens, out wide. Got a very short haircut there, Stevens. And he zips away from half-back. Long kick towards centre-half forward. Coffey had 2 or 3 to beat. See, the defence is very good, isn't it? Grimm, Setri, short pass is good. McKay. Stevens was late. 25 metres, is it? No. So McKay, who's sporting a haircut as well, kicks up toward the wing on this grandstand side. There's a good mark taken by McKinnon.
It's Martin McKinnon, the Teal Cup representative, and the first Crows draft choice. He's played pretty well in patches. His kick's a strong one after a good mark. It's marked by Port Adelaide in defence. And again, Rosonico. He's under some pressure. Well done by the central forward line. And the ball dribbles out of line ahead of the players. And this game, Port Adelaide by 10 goals 3. Both coaches trying a few things at this stage. From Central Oval in Port Augusta, we're coming to you, ABC TV Sport. Boundary throw-in, and a big thump. Schwert the reflex. Bit of dodging and weaving by Saywell and Schwert. Tongery, quick hands to Stevens. Stevens a bit more time, and Stevens will swing onto that left leg. The kick's not a good one, and it'll fall into the arms of a Port defender, and it looks like Foster. It is Foster. To the outer side he goes, looking for Kemp. Now Kemp, who spent the first half off the ground, takes a strong mark. Was very busy in that third quarter. Looks into the sun and now kicks to the outer side. He's looking for Fiacci, and George looks to be having a run on the ball. Although you never know with George, he comes a long way down the ground from his back pocket. He looks for and finds Troy Hull. His game's been a good one as well. Running the wrong way as a Port Adelaide player, but Lynn's first there. The ball off the ground towards Tylor. Tylor's got time, but the ball runs over the boundary line in front of him. He'd be disappointed because he was 25 metres clear when he took off after it. And Mark Tylor, he looks big and strong there. He's still got the strapping around that thumb. The thumb that caused him the grief in the latter part of last year. And we're 10.5 minutes into this, the last quarter from Central Augusta.
Tyler with 4 goals. Borlase, quick kick forward into the pocket. Yes, Tyler with 4 goals, and he's certainly going to be the key for them this year, or one of the keys. Darren Smith, the other key. We're not too sure as to what his injury may be. He did come off earlier on, and Stephen Trigg suggested that he may have been limping. So we'll see if we can get a report with John Cale afterwards when Stephen does that interview. Lynn, Fiacci, Lynn trying to pick up. Eventually, Troy Bond forces the ball out of bounds, left forward pocket. 16-9 to 6-6, 105 to 42. And you're watching this match on ABC Sport right around the state. We'll be covering most of the Foundation Cup matches for you, and the home and away games as well, including the finals and the grand final in October. Stevens, infield he goes. Girdham, hand pass over the top. What can they do here? This is Schwert running through midfield, or sets it up into midfield now. McKinnon, left footer, long kick toward centre half forward, a bit beyond that in fact, over the head of Coffey. Rosonico getting back. Mead does the shepherding. Rosonico goes out wide. What can they do here? Can they set something up perhaps? Shane Wakeler, number 23. This player who was kicked fair and square in the face by the footy. He's down. He's okay. It's Cockatoo Collins. Gets up, just moves the head about a bit. Perhaps seeing stars at the moment. Hereda stabs at it. Short pass. Squeezes out a little short pass. That one also very short. Girdham got caught. Got the hand pass away. McKinnon again getting a couple of touches in this quarter. Kicks past midfield towards centre half forward. McGowan. Now, can they pick up something here? Can they kick a goal? Oh, that's a lovely little pass there to Handley from Coffey. Soccer style, out of bounds on the full, so nothing doing.
No, it's not working for Central District at the moment. They've shown some very steady improvement over the past 2 seasons under Alan Stewart. In fact, they defeated Port Adelaide at Elizabeth Oval last year. Not to be tonight, though. The reigning Premier have started this season superbly. And there's no hint of the Premiership hangover at the moment. They're doing everything right, Port Adelaide. A good balance of experience and youth. Some good pace. The ball brought back into play. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Grandstand side. And a pack of players develop.
This match not dissimilar in some ways, or in many ways, Stephen, is it, to the game we saw, the late game last night when the Eagles thrashed Norwood. We were Talking of Norwood going home with their tails between their legs, I guess the same could be said about Central, only the trip's a lot longer.
Well, it is a long trip. It's about 3 hours up. And they'll have plenty of time for both sides, though, staying up here tonight, enjoying the Port Augusta hospitality. Kemp misses what he should have taken. Sweeps the handball out. Good vision. Saw Gaffney, but Gaffney's under some real siege. Foster. And Tongri's got hold of him. And some good, strong body work there on the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throw in right in front of the grandstand.
He's an impressive type, isn't he, Tongri?
There's Shane Tongri. Loves kicking goals. The impressive thing about him tonight is he worked hard through that half-forward line to keep the ball in the area. Taken out of the air by Chalmers. In fact, it's Wakeland. And Northeast takes a very good mark in front of McKinnon. Plays on, didn't need to. Got a rush kick away. And Central District dropped back. And Tony Lynn, one of Central District's very best players tonight, takes a good strong mark. His kick's looking for McKinnon. It's over his head. And fortuitously falls into the arms of Macri. Now Schwert. And the Schwert kick. Well, I can tell you, this has been action replay all over. Rosonico's played beautifully back there. And the Port Adelaide defence more generally has played very well. And the ball's now with Grimm.
Oh.
But beautiful tackle by Roger Girdham. And we spoke earlier about the hard work that Roger Girdham does. Away he goes, the handball's over the top to Coffey, and Coffey will walk in. Oh, he won't, because he was pushed. He was pushed, and the free kick will go to Grant Coffey. A little laconic there, and probably just a little lucky to get away with it. Here he is, he's got time. He was pushed by Grimm. I don't think he enjoyed that, Grant Coffey. Probably enjoyed if he can run around here and kick the goal. Does it with the drop punt. And he's kicked his second goal. Doesn't look too enthusiastic about it at the moment. Central District hurting a bit. And Grant Coffey, as we said earlier, been moved around the ground from the centre-half forward position and back into the ruck. Here's this tackle from Girdham. Gee, isn't that a strong tackle? Pinned the arms, did it all very well. Opted to play on. Over the top goes the handball to Coffey. And then Coffey, of course, was pushed by Grimm.
(105-48). Remus and Grimm. Grimm comes in from the left, Remus the right. Kemp, clever. Did very well. Runs through the wing. Hand passes over the top. Big chance now for Troy Hull. Free kick. Goes Central District's way. Troy Hull, an impressive character. Played very well against Collingwood. This is John Abbott, number 7. From Williston. And Gawler. Abbott at halfback. Drop punt up toward left half forward. Remus from the side, couldn't control it. Foster. Port Adelaide player overrunning it. Saywell, series of hand passes. Schwert did nicely. Saywell, who's had quite a few touches in this game. Now the chance is for David Green, acting Stevens. High kick. Bit of a chance here. Have a look at Rosonico, though. Gee, once again, he's done very well. And Stephen mentioned him earlier on.
And the Stevens error was forced upon him by the fact that Port Adelaide's tackling is so quick and fierce. Forced the error. And we'll see a boundary throw in now. Left half forward flank for Central District. Both sides getting tired now. It's been a warm afternoon. Raining when we left Adelaide, but quite a warm afternoon up here, and now Borlase. A little quieter in the third and last quarters after a terrific first half. This man's been busy, Kemp. His kick's a wobbly old one. Leading in the race for the ball is Pyman, who's come onto the ground. Gaffney's been a good player. So too Lynn, one of Central District's very best. Tongri's been effective also. His quick kick around the corner is to a bevy of Port Adelaide players, and Borlase has taken the mark. Midfield, he's got runners everywhere. He's got Cockatoo, Collins and Geneva. They'll share it. Cockatoo Collins has been impressive. His kicks, well, he'd be disappointed with that because it's gone straight to Remus, and Remus clears. Yes,
good-looking kick to Remus, and there's a loose man on the far side of the ground. As they go forward again, up there is Handley. So Central District from one side of the ground, or from half back to half forward. The 28-year-old who's played almost 100 games, 87 in fact. He's pretty confident with this, about 45, perhaps 40 metres out. Drop punt's on its way. The umpire gets to his right slightly. It is a behind. So 7-7, 14 scoring shots Central. Port Adelaide is 6-9. They've had 25 scoring shots. It's been, this game has been dominated by Port Adelaide.
And you must admire Port Adelaide. They just keep on keeping on. haven't taken the foot off the accelerator at all tonight. Although players are tiring just a shade at the moment, they've really kept the pressure on. Central District never allowed an easy possession, and the pressure showed on Hanley there, let it slip across the body. The mark taken by McKinnon. He's been impressive in patches. He's a good-looking athlete. Here's Martin McKinnon. And he's going to take a shot for goal by the looks. Sets himself, I think he'll be just outside his distance. Martin McKinnon, All-Australian Till Cupper. It's a beautiful-looking kick, if you don't mind. Well, I suggested he was outside of his range, but he went back very deliberately, kicked his first goal, and Central District a much-needed goal. They go to 8 goals 7. Port Adelaide 16 goals 9. And he has been impressive, McKinnon. Watch this, head down, the left leg. Really let the leg go, kick through the ball. And just a little bit of breeze behind him, just carried the line. And Central District, a goal to Martin McKinnon.
16-9 to 8 goals 7. McKinnon gets his first. Tongaree has 2. Scott Stevens 1, Michael Wakeland 1, and Grant Coffey 2 for Central District. I'll run through the Port Adelaide goal scorers in a minute. Handley, another sortie forward, misses to the left-hand side. Troy Bond has 3. 2 goals to Michael Gaffney, 1 to Rowan Smith, 1 to Darryl Borlase, and 1 to Paul Kemp, 2 to Darryl Wakeland, 4 to Mark Taylor, and 2 goals to Darren Smith. And as I say, I'll have a look at that. Isn't that lovely? And perhaps in 10, 15 years' time, that little individual may well be out on the ground and playing league footy.
Been shown wonderful hospitality by the people of Port Augusta. There's a lot of kids here, very enthusiastic. And Gaffney sets himself, Cockatoo Collins on the ground, gets the handball away to Wakeland. And I think Shane Wakeland down towards the half-forward line, but Harada comes across and takes the kick. The pace has gone off of the game at the moment. He comes towards the centre, but a good strong mark is taken there by Reimers. Reimers to Green. And Central still under some pressure. But finally, it looks like Pyman out there at half-forward. Now, the Pyman kick is long, but getting underneath it there is Wakeland. And Shane Wakeland's taken a strong mark. In fact, it looks like it's been paid to Central District. It has, and it's going to Christian Macri. But we'll watch this on the replay. Certainly on the replay. A good decision by the umpire. Looked like Wakeland live here had it in his hands, but Macri's come across and taken a good strong mark.
Yeah, Centrals have scored 3 goals in this last quarter to Port Adelaide's 1.
Now Macri, let's have a look at him. Coming in over his shoulder. He ran offline and kicked across the body. What's he done with it? He's dragged it. The goal umpire pats the chest, and he's got himself 1 behind. Port Adelaide, 16 goals, and I'll tell you in a moment it's 9 when the scoreboard attendant pops out of the way, not like the electronic scoreboard at Football Park. Central District 8 goals, 9, 57. And we're almost 20 minutes into the last quarter.
So Kemp to put this ball back into play. Long kick. Up go the hands. About 4 Port Adelaide players. No one able to take the mark successfully, though. Eventually the hand pass over the top by Shane Grimm. Out of bounds. So it's just starting to get a little dark here at Central Oval at Port Augusta. You're watching this match on ABC television right around the state. 22 minutes, so almost siren time. Good start. I did hear a bit of a whisper a couple of weeks ago that Port Adelaide, although they have been blooding a couple of young players in this team in the Foundation Cup first round match, they are very keen to go through the Foundation Cup competition undefeated. Saywell out very wide. Here's a chance for Stevens. Can he score from there? I'd imagine he will, and he does. So Stevens scores his 2nd goal for the match. 16-9 to 9 goals 9, 105 to 63. And as I was saying, Saywell, it was a very clever hand pass. He saw Stevens out wide running toward goal, and Stevens made no mistake. As I was saying, Port Adelaide are very keen, from what I can gather, to go through the Foundation Cup undefeated and then, of course, really put in for the home and away. Very handy prize money too, $17,500 to the winner, $10,000 to the runner-up. And if your team finishes bottom, it won't go away empty-handed because it takes home $5,700. So financially, it's a very useful competition to win. But the Magpies have been very strong here. They've travelled from Adelaide 300 k's to Port Augusta, and they have given Central District a real lesson in football. Handley over there, also Stevens, who's had a lot of touches. Handley wasn't quite so clever. Cockatoo Collins over there as well. Saywell. The Magpies' defence has been very good. That was Foster. Stevens again. Pretty scrappy now. Got a bit of a chance here. Abbott kicks toward the goal front. Setri. Northeast. Hand pass was wild. Schwert, northeast, knocks it away. Here's Michael Gaffney. Goes in short. So they run it away. Troy Bond, number 3. And he's drafted to Carlton. Have a look at him go here. He's putting on a real exhibition. 5-6 bounces. Swings it to a more central location. A high kick. That deserved a goal. It's a behind. A terrific build-up there by Troy Bond. He's already got 3 goals, and you can stand up, and he's really done very well there. Troy Bond, 20-year-old. 1 goal in the first, 1 in the third quarter, and 1 in the fourth quarter. So he can stand up and be counted, no doubt about that. He's done his job today for Port Adelaide. Someone's lost something. That looks like a boot to me. Good camera shot too. Ginniver, only as far as Remus, who's been around about the place from full back, and then in the ruck, Pyman, number 54. 106 to 8 to 62. 44 points the margin. 25.5 minutes gone, so it's been a long quarter. Tylor over the head. Back there is Rosonico, but a good mark has been taken by David Green, the acting captain for Central District today. Good kick, a good lead. Abbott, and there it is. A convincing win to Port Adelaide here in this first round Foundation Cup match. And they win the match convincingly. 16 goals, 10, 106. Central District, 9 goals, 8, 62. And the margin, 44 points. Until next time, bye for now.